Hey guys, welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and as you can see behind me, we have a mess of automation and quarrying to do today. So, I hope you guys are ready. Now that we have power, I think it's going to be a good idea for us to get a quarry set up and get our resources automated. Because as we move forward into this pack and we start needing more machines, we're going to need a lot more resources, especially if we want to make a refined storage system and get out of ancient warfare. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong, is nice and very, very handy. But it would be nice to kind of, move on and get into refined storage, which would be really good. So, what we're going to need is a builder and a shape card. So, this is your normal shape quarry card, which is what we're going to need. So, I went ahead and made those. I also have some power, some energy conduit, because what I'm planning on doing is sort of limiting the amount of power that this can consume. So, with your card here, or with your conduit, with it connected like this, you don't have you don't have many options here as far as power and configuring how much power can be sent and things like that. So we do need some method to limit the amount of power that can go into the builder, because I just don't want all my power flooding in at once. That would be ridiculous and would consume all of my energy supply. So we can set up buffers. We could even use to go even further, which might actually be a good idea, to go into thermal and start looking at the ducts. So we could use a flux duct, and I don't think these let you configure. Well, this is going to be 1000 RF. I don't remember if this actually lets you change the amount of power or not. If I gotta hook it to a machine, I think. I don't remember it allowing you to customize. Yeah, it just straight up hooks in. I have no ability to customize it. So this is going to be even worse, because it's going to be allowing 1000 RF per tick through. I don't want that. I only want this 640. That's a small amount, and I don't think there is one that does less. Now I know there's mods and stuff that can be added to Ender.io that do provide lower RF per tick outputs on conduits, which are really nice. But for our case right now, it's going to work just fine. Now, we're going to need other conduits. So let's go ahead and grab some item conduits. It's going to be really nice and handy for us. We don't really need anything else except for the power conduit, I think. I think that should be about it. And our builder and our card. Now, I want to get into a new type of storage. The builder is going to need somewhere to put items. And a really good storage alternative in this pack is going to be colossal chests. And it may seem kind of weird at first because of, it's a weird mod, right? So we're going to need a little over 32 of these. I'm going to need to break down a bunch of fairwood here in order for us to get the amount we need. But you just go ahead and make the colossal chest walls until you have 36 of them, I think, or 34 of them, because we're going to make a interface. It's going to allow us to put items into the chest. You can actually have more than one interface on a colossal chest. And then we're going to need a colossal chest core. This is going to be basically where you access. This is where the latch is, where you want the front of your chest to be. And you're going to need 32 colossal chest walls to pretty much make one of the smaller colossal chests. Now, let me just demonstrate what a colossal chest looks like and how it can scale up. So by default, you can actually make a small colossal chest that just looks like this. You don't actually need an interface. An interface just lets you pump or pull items out of it. But if you place something like this, you put this on here, this is the smallest colossal chest that you can make. You can see right here, this is the core. If you break any block in this, say you break this wall down here, this wall, let me actually get an axe so I can demonstrate this a little bit easier. Any axe will be fine. There we go. So yeah, if you break any of the corner blocks, you're fine. So let's go ahead and put like items in here. Let's put our chest walls in here. If I break this corner, items don't come out, right? Because they're still stuck in this core. So you can actually upgrade your walls. You just don't want to break your core, and you can see if it's a core here. If I was to break this core, however, the items will come out, right? You see all the items just spewed back out. So the core is what holds everything. So if you later on want to upgrade your chest walls, you can make a small chest like this. I say small, it's not really small. Look how much storage is in here. There is quite a bit of storage. Like if we kind of show this here, I mean, yeah, I'm just continuing. You can see how fast it actually scrolls down. And this is actually a small version of it. So a really powerful chest mod here. And of course, once you break the multi-block, you can then excavate. So we're going to utilize this. First of all, we need to make sure we can get power out of this. So we are already sending power out like we want. We also want to get a base set up for items, because eventually I actually want to send items to here. And I want to set this to receive items, because we're going to be sending items to the other one to receive here. And fluids we don't need to worry about, because that's going to be fine. Everything should be set up. Now, all we need to do is take our colossal chests, set this up, and get a builder going. We are going to need a lever, because of course, to turn on your builder, you need a lever. So let's head all the way down into our quarry here, or where we're going to set a quarry up. I'm going to do it in the overworld here for right now, simply because of how we have our builder and dimensional transceiver set up. I don't really have the resources right now to make another dimensional transceiver. Otherwise, I would. And then we would do this in like the building or the mining dimension or some other dimension like that. I think would work fine. So I'm going to need to clear out a little bit of an area. I don't need much room, just need enough room to support this chest. And we're going to set the chest right on top of the builder. It's going to look kind of goofy, right? But it is a large storage, right? It holds a lot of items. And we're going to quarry out this area. Now, it's going to start consuming more lava as we go, which is going to be fine, because it's just going to be basically powering the other dynamo. The dynamo's actually going to have to work. So, let's get this set up. We can place the builder right here. That's probably going to be a good spot. And then next to it, I'm going to be able to route our power out and into this. Right? So now, this is going to be building up some power, and we're going to be getting things going. Now, what I can do is I can actually copy this these numbers. I can go, all right, I need to know these numbers: 11, 12, 30, -5, 17. And I could make our shape card look exactly like that and throw it in here, and it would just be over a couple of blocks and we'd be able to mine this whole area out. But I kind of want to set up my own custom area, right? You can technically mine this whole area if you wanted to. So I want to mine all of this out here and mine a pretty good distance and let it do its job. So to do that, of course, we right click on here to set the central location, so that way this card knows how far to offset where it's mining. And to do this, I'm going to go out one block, because yeah, if I do it anywhere else, we might run into some problems. So I'm going to set this part right here. Actually, I'm going to redo this, set it here, and then go up one. That way I can kind of see the stuff better. And now we can start to configure this card. Right, so I definitely want this a little bit taller, right? So what Y level are we on? That's usually a good indicator. We're at Y level 11. Okay, so Y level 11. Let's take this up. Let's assume that it's going to go, like, Y level 64 is about your average height on this setup. So I'm going to go 50. And we're at Y level 11. So what this does is it is now at Y level 50. But at the center where our builder's at. And so it split this right down the middle. So if I was to take this to like negative, let's do 25, that should split this pretty much down the middle. And we should now have our setup shown, right? I should be able to show this. It actually might be too high now. Let's drop this down to, let's just set it back to 0. Right now, and see if we can't show this. Okay, so here it is. We can't really see how tall it is unless we actually quarry this out, and we don't currently have our stuff in place to do that. So let's just go ahead and start extending this from here. Let's just say this is 50, and we do a, I don't know, we raise it, because we need to raise it actually. So raise it 25 blocks. That's what I should have done. Raise it 25 blocks. And that's going to split the difference on us. And we should be able to see it now. Perfect. So that's going to give it about 25 blocks up from where it was currently located. Which means, yeah, we should probably raise it a little bit. I just don't want it to mine my house, right? Or mine anything near my house or trees. It can do that, so be careful. Making it too tall. All right, so let's go back in here for a second. I want to bring this out a little bit. So if I take this out 2, which I know this is 2, if I take this out to 50, I need to remember that because this is at 50, I need to make this about half of that, right? So half minus 3. So if it's at 50, we're going to do 25 minus 3. So we're going to be at 22. And I don't know if it's going to be a negative or positive. I think it's positive direction. And yeah, you got to be careful because you can actually get stuck in the block. So as you can see, I'm pretty close. I think we need to go over a couple more blocks. So let's take this and do 20. Maybe I was closer going. Maybe we needed to go 25 and go 3 up to 28. Maybe that was the opposite. I didn't need to subtract. So yeah, I needed to go that way. So there we go. So there, our numbers are matching up now. Now I do want to go a little bit wider than 3, of course. This way is not going to matter so much. We can just kind of set this to whatever we want. So let's do 50. Just to kind of make things all even here. And if we show the supported view, we're now back to normal. It went 25 in this direction and 25 in that direction. Perfect. So now that we have this builder set up, it's ready to quarry this area. It's going to turn it all to dirt. Anything it mines is just going to set to dirt. So I'm going to set the interface on the top, because anything that's on top of your builder is going to be basically the storage that it's going to look for to fill. And what we need to do is just make a 3x3 colossal chest. And even a 3x3 colossal chest is huge. Like, it is a huge chest. So you're going to leave it hollow in the center because you're just going to be building the outside. And actually this block right here is going to be our core. So I'm going to leave that blank. So yeah, you just have a hollow box right here. And then in here, place that, and your latch goes in place. And you have this huge 3x3 colossal chest that is going to store a lot of items. So we should be just about ready, right? Minus one thing. I think I need another interface on this. So I would actually like to go get another interface in my base and come back and apply the interface, because I want to be able to pull a specific amount of items out of this, or certain items, so that way I can get them auto processing. So if we make another chest interface here, I am going to need a filter for my item conduits, because I do want to filter specific things out. Now, item filters and conduits, the basic one only holds so many items, but I do feel that it's a pretty decent filter overall. And we can use it in 2 different ways. We can have a filter where it is only extracting filtered items, and we can have an item filter set up to only accept certain items from inventory. And either way works. It just depends on the way you're setting things up. That's kind of the only thing that really matters. So now that I have this extra interface, we should be able to like plop it right here on the corner. I think that'll be fine. And yeah, it'll give us another access point basically. So now that we have another access point, kind of see its interface there, we can hook a conduit up and make sure to change this so that way we can have this set to pull. This is going to be pulling items, but we want to put a filter in here right away. So we'll extract always active and put a filter in here. Now we'll edit the filter and make sure it is set to only pull out certain things, and that will be a whitelist, right? So currently it should be on a whitelist. It shouldn't be pulling items out. So if I put like torches in here, you don't see the torches being pulled out right now. And I need to set this to insert, make sure. Okay, so torches are being pulled out. Let's make sure to set this to the whitelist. And they're still being pulled out for some reason. Let's change this. Edit filter, always active. Should be set to whitelist. Like that. We throw items in, it's automatically getting pulled in. Wait. Something's not working here. Maybe we'll put an insert filter. It shouldn't be extracting the items. I mean, we can blacklist specific items, but by default, I thought it was supposed to hold items back, which it's not doing. I'm guessing it doesn't work just by itself. You have to at least have one item in here. So I just added a piece of cobblestone. We're not going to be getting cobblestone anyways, but I will change this as we go. But for right now, that works. We put that in there. It's set to whitelist mode. It's only going to allow these items in. And as you can see, there's only so many slots. There's only 5 of them. So we got to make use of those 5 slots. So let's go ahead and turn this on. It's going to start going hard at work. Let's turn this off real quick. I almost forgot. One thing is we need to start voiding certain things. I want all these things to be voided, and I want them to be ore dictionary to void, because I'm only looking for ore. And here is where the fun is going to happen. It's currently pulling the cobblestone because, like I said, cobblestone is showing up in here, but it's not supposed to. Like, cobblestone should be gone. And we're starting to lose our power. I'm hoping that with this running, we won't drain too much. I do need to upgrade my Dynamo, so I am going to get my Dynamo upgraded, and that should help a little bit. If this does run out of power, we still have lava, and this still should hopefully be pumping lava. Right? Let's make sure that's pumping lava. There we go. And as long as that is pumping lava, we should be good. So let's go ahead and look at what it's going to take to upgrade our Dynamo to the next level, like to get more power. And it actually it increases dramatically. So thermal, and we're going to go kits. And here we go. This right here is going to require some electrum. I think I have some electrum. Let's just make sure. Yes. So here is our upgraded kit, and we're going to need an augment. And we're going to use the same thing, a transmission coil, to just upgrade this thing. And this is going to help give us a nice surge of power. As long as we can produce more than 600 RF per tick, or whatever the amount is needed, we should be good. And if we need to make more dynamos, we can. Now we're at 240 RF per tick being generated in this manner. So, pretty nice there. Still, I think we need a little bit more coal, because now we're not as self-sufficient as we should be. Another method we can go about doing is separating the network. I think that might actually be a better solution to this problem, is by separating our connections. You know, you kind of have, you got to go through some different tasks, different scenarios. You never know how things are going to pan out. So I don't always think everything 100% through. So, gotta bear with me. I think maybe making a dynamo, a magmatic dynamo, would actually help this situation out 1,000 times. This will actually solve our problem, because I don't want the quarry to go fast, right? That's not the point. The quarry is to be there, go slow, do its thing, just being there, just doing its thing. All right, let's make another kit, and we'll just try to make this kit here. And that should be plenty of power to kind of push this thing along. And another silver augment, another auxiliary transmission coil. Perfect. So this, I probably will need some fluid conduits. We're still going to kind of keep the same setup going. What I'm going to do, though, is remove the power conduits that are pulling power out of our transceiver. And instead, we're going to be transferring lava into this machine and using this to power it, right? So instead of having this, this power cable here, we can actually individually break that and remove that. There we go. What we should be able to do is hook this dynamo up. We can even set the dynamo on the roof here if we wanted to. I need to spin this around and set it there. That'll work. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but we can set this to push. That should send lava into this, hopefully. Given that we have lava in here. Now it should be able to send lava. At least I would think it would. Maybe not. It says no room for liquid, no usable tank above or below. Well, that's not true. Make sure this is set. We can't receive. You know what? We might end up just using conduit for this. I hope this keeps its settings if I move this. Alright, let's just try. Let's just see if it keeps its settings if we move it. Alright, so it's here. Okay, it kept its settings. Let's just add a fluid conduit here. And it will not. We need an actual tank to go in here. That's fine. We can just use an Ender IO tank. Now that we have our tank, now we can place the tank here and kind of sort this the way it should be done. So, let's set this to push. Set this to push. Perfect. Then set this to pull. Pull. There we go. And we can actually remove this here because we no longer need it. So now this should be also receiving lava. Power is also going into this, and yeah, this is also containing power. Now I want to route this over here and get this powering over here. Let's hope I have enough conduit. I didn't even think about that. And I'm one short on conduit. Oh, I'll be back with our last bit of conduit. This cable, you know what? I could have done it. No, we still would have been out one. But anyways, I want to disconnect this because I don't actually want this to be over here. This is already getting powered by this. Now we have power coming in, but it's only enough. It's only so much. Let's go ahead and upgrade this and then throw that in there. Now we're getting a little bit more, and we should start seeing more items flow into our chest. Perfect. Now, we are still going to get certain items like marble and things like that, but I find that those are going to be nice building materials. So I kind of want them, actually. Building materials would be really great. So, kind of a self-sufficient setup. It's going to automatically mine. It's going to do all kinds of things for us. And it's separate from our power network, so we're not having to worry about it consuming all of our power. And that's a big deal. Right? Because we don't want all of our power to be drained. We want this to still have max power, right? And have a nice send buffer as well, in case we ever needed backup power. For right now, this is looking pretty good. Another way you could buffer power is you could use a basic power storage. So you could use an Ender IO basic capacitor bank. This right here can also buffer power. And I actually might set this up to just supply a small amount of power to this to add to it and also keep a power buffer down there. I don't know. That's a good idea. It's just something to kind of try. You know, I can only show so much. So let me kind of let's try this, right? We should be able to make a basic capacitor bank. I'd rather show it than just talk about it, right? So with this, we can actually buffer power completely. So some way that we can pull power from our main network and put it back in here is going to be kind of useful, right? And showing that you can do that. So if we connect this buffer here, let's just say we connect it right here. It's not actually receiving any power. You can see that. What we can do though is set this to push. I think this is specifically for items. I don't think this matters anywhere else. But this should... Oh, maybe it does matter with power. I can set this to pull, to input, and now it's automatically pulling power in. But you can see right here, we have a max output that we can set. So if I set this to only output 50 RF per tick, it will only output 50 RF per tick. So what if I say, since we're only pulling in 240 RF from our main system, let's just say we're only going to give it 100 RF out of our main system, and that's the max this thing can output. And we can also rotate this thing. Right here, I want to put a sign on the front that tells me how much stuff is being moved in and out. And then we're going to connect a conduit right here. So this conduit it can only do so much, right? It can only output this maximum 100. And you can actually change if it's active or not. It's always active. So now we're adding an extra 100 RF per tick on top of the 120. So we're now pushing 220 RF per tick that this thing is being allotted to be able to mine. So that's pretty good. The more we can give it, the better. And it looks like this is not showcasing much to extract. Why is it not showing how much it's extracting? This should be extract. And this needs to be insert. That should show, this should be showing power, but it's not. Usually this side will show how much power is actually being consumed. Doesn't seem to want to show that. I think that's because no power is actually being lost at the moment, because this is actually inputting more power in than this can lose. So let's just say if this was actually not receiving any power, let's just let's cut this off here. Let's just actually say, all right, don't pull power. Let's just disable. Now you can see we're at a loss of 100 RF. So I do like that these things can show you how much power is going in and out of your system. It's kind of cool. Yeah, we definitely want power going in. So I'll leave that to input. And yeah, you can also see how much power comes in. But at this point, it's pulling in so much power, it doesn't really need to even show that. Yeah, we're building stuff up. That's kind of what I kind of wanted to see. I wanted to see iron. I want to see copper. I'll be taking these things out every now and then. By the way, if you sort this thing, you can run into some issues. Inventory Tweaks does not like sorting that big chest. So sometimes if you middle click in there, you'll get that giant error that pops up in your chat. That just happens every now and then. Now that this is set up, we need to kind of get items moving from that system into our system down here. So here's where moving items from the transceiver is going to come in handy. I need to route items down, and they're going to need to be on a separate channel because these are actually on colored channels. So this channel on the extract is going to be on blue, just for this case. And yeah, I need to route the conduit all the way over. Luckily, you can make conduit bundles like this. And yeah, this is going to go into our current system that is set up, right? Back here, and this is going to be specific to this. I'm actually going to have it supply our current setup here. I want it to actually just deposit into this chest here. So this will be an insert on a blue channel, specifically, or we might go purple. Let's just go ahead and go purple, just to be on the safe side, because I don't remember if I had any blue channels over here. But we'll set that up just like that, and on this side, just make sure that I have this set to purple on the extract, always active as well. And then this is where the filter is going to come in handy. So I get to dress this back up. There's no further things we need to do here. Everything else is just related to our filters back there at our quarry. And we're almost ready to go. Now that we're back down, the same situation is going to happen here. I don't remember if you can drag. Oh, you can. Awesome. I was going to say, I don't remember if you can drag, but you can kind of take a look at ore here. And you can specify what specific ore you want to move over. And you can just, even if you don't have it, you can just drag it over and click. And so let's just kind of see, you know, we want some of our basic ores. Like we want iron and gold exclusively going into that. And then we also want copper, right? Copper. That's something that's going to show up in this. So we can drag that over. I don't know if nickel is going to be something that we pull up. I think tin is something that always pulls up in this dimension. But there's only certain ore in this dimension. So I'm trying to think of everything that needs to be routed over. I don't remember seeing nickel, but it's definitely something we can kind of throw in here. And yeah, and I mean, that should automatically start pulling those specific things out. Unfortunately, it's only going in here. We don't actually need it going in here. It needs to go in to this thing right here. So we'll set up this weird funky thing where we'll turn these off. There we go. And it's only going to go into this. We can set that to insert. Now we should start seeing items going into the send. Perfect. And yeah, we're just about done. So as I was walking through, I was able to hear this working, and I think every now and then I'm getting items. Yeah, these weren't in here before. So it's definitely working. It's definitely sending stuff over. And we now have automated ore processing kind of going on. Yep, there it goes. It is actually working. That is super cool. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I know a lot of you guys have been enjoying these. The comments, all the likes, I really do appreciate it. And by the way, if you haven't already liked this video, I highly recommend doing so. Also, you can find me over at twitch.tv/ChosenArchitect, where I do stream, and I'm actually streaming this pack right now at the time of this video. So, guys, if you haven't subscribed already, I highly recommend doing so as well, so you'll be notified when I do publish new videos just like this one. I'll see you guys in the next episode, and as always, thanks for watching.